So I watched an extra film for Noirvember tonight because I am pretty sure I'm not going to have time to watch one tomorrow, and I want to make sure I hit at least 30 in the 30 new to me ones in the 30 days. So sometimes I got to do what I got to do to get one in, you know what I mean? So this one, I realized I watched in the wrong order because about 2 years ago I watched Le Samurai, which is the first Alain Delon, Jean-Pierre Melville film. And then Le Cercle Rouge is the next one, and then Un Flic is their third one and Melville's final film. I accidentally watched Un Flic first. That said, Le Cercle Rouge is like 3 hours long, so that'll be a Thanksgiving movie. Um, yes. So Un Flic, also known as A Cop, also known as Dirty Money, it's from 1972. It's Melville's final film. It flips the tables, and Melville is filming Delon as a cop, aka the titular Flic, instead of a villain. I realize just right now that I also watched an Alain Delon film this morning. So Alain Delon in the morning, Alain Delon at night, I guess. The film begins with a motto in French, but I'm going to read the English translation. The only feelings mankind has ever inspired in policemen are those of indifference and derision. That's how you set up this film. It is shot by Walter Votzitz, and it's this like ultra saturated blue and aqua and just I don't even know. It's beautiful. It doesn't look like anything you've ever seen. Reality does not look like this. This is not a movie set in reality. And go in knowing that, and you'll probably enjoy it. Um, Basically, roughly, there's a lot happening in this movie. There's not a lot of dialogue, and honestly, not even all that much action, but there's a lot happening in this movie. Essentially, it's about a group of gangsters who are attempting to rob a seaside bank. Things go a little bit awry, and they split up. They're being followed by a cop, played by Alain Delon, who happens to hang out at the um, same bar that one of them owns, and also might kind of sort of totally be having an affair with one of the main gangsters' girlfriends, played by Catherine Deneuve, which you're like, wait, what? Um, there are definite cinematic parallels, not parallels, I have to say, people were inspired by this film. There's a bit with Deneuve where she is masquerading as a nurse in order to kill a loose end, and the way in which she does it and her stylization is 100% referenced by Daryl Hannah in Kill Bill. But we all know that Tarantino takes from everybody, so you know, just write a book about all the movies that you should watch instead of Tarantino movies. Oh no, watch the Tarantino movies and the other movies, um, but also just watch Jackie Brown. It's the only one. There's also like an informant that comes and gives a lot of information to Delon's character, even though he doesn't treat her very well. And honestly, if I were her, I would just like give him the finger. She had really great style and like those like drawn on eyebrows and really great lipstick. I was really into it. Um, the four guys attempt to do what they're doing, get away with their money. At one point, they even bring in a helicopter. It gets very complicated. And as it all comes to pieces, as you know, any good noir, you're not going to get your money. That's just, it's not noir if you end up with your money. Um, you get to a point where you realize that all of these gangsters they're done. This group is falling apart. Half of them are done with the crime life. Um, they are just as like over being criminals as Delon's character is over being a cop. Everybody is just and Kathy, played by Deneuve, is over being a mall. Everyone's over everything. They're just stuck in this malaise. This is 1972, so you're thinking French culture. This is post the '68 riots. You're getting into similar to America, some anti-Vietnam, anti-colonialism, anti all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of recession. They had, the gas price stuff caused recessions everywhere. including here in France, and there was just a lot here in France. I live in France. No, I'm not in France. Um, there's a lot of malaise in the world, and that's why you see a lot of these crime films that are similarly full of malaise in the way that they were in the post-war era. Except in this case, instead of in sleek black and white, it is in sleek blue. It has an ending that has been used, referenced in at least two other noir adjacent films, The Long Good Friday and Michael Clayton. So if you see the ending of all three of those movies, and it's just very, in this version, it's Delon's face just giving you nothing. That perfect, complete emotionless face that he perfected, driving off to the next case. He's done. In The Long Good Friday, it's because, if you haven't seen that movie, the great, all-time great goat of actors, Bob Hoskins, has been foiled, and he's driving off probably to die. And he's so frustrated because he plans everything, and someone has managed to plan past what he's planned, and it's just, he can't even believe it. He's so angry. Get that face. And then in Michael Clayton, if you've seen Michael Clayton, he's finally pulled it off and done a really good deed, and he's driving off in the taxi, and you're not sure how he feels about what he had to do, because it's against who he had been, but he's grown as a person, and now he's just like has to decompress. And so each use of this ending shows sort of a change or lack of change, which basically means nothing. I don't know why I just said it like that. Shows where the character has come in their journeys. In the case of Alain Delon's character, he's still stuck in the malaise. All of this happened. There's all this emotion and death and betrayal, and he's still just nothing. For Hoskins' character, he's tried and tried and tried and tried, and he can't save himself. It's gone too far. For Clayton's character, he had to go through trials unknown in order to do the right thing for people and not his company, and that took a lot for him. And so you get these different emotional states, and it's fascinating that you use the same basic shot to showcase three very different character arcs. Or in the case of the Delon character, not really an arc at all. It was a good movie. I think I liked Le Samurai a little bit more, mostly because I liked the plot of that one more. I think it was a little closer to, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I've lost my train of thought. I'm so tired. I liked Delon's character. That's what I was trying to say. I liked Delon's character in Le Samurai a little bit more. I could kind of understand his lone, like, assassin. There's so many great assassins coming to terms with their own, profession movies that I kind of could attach to that a lot better than this sort of world-weary cop that's so far gone that he literally has no emotions practically ever. That was rough. It was like you go from watching Purple Noon, which I watched this morning, where Delon he's already kind of got that stoicness, but there's like an earthy quality to his stoicism, and then you go and you get to 12 years later, and it's all gone. It's just, Melville has just completely gotten everything, all emotions out of him, and all he's got left is a blank face and pouty lips and blue eyes, and it's intense and I think purposeful, but harder to care about, which is probably the point. But that's where I'm at. So this is Un Flic. You can watch it on Filmstruck right now, and I recommend it. All kinds of noir. I will probably watch Le Cercle Rouge either this weekend or during Thanksgiving when I have more time. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do tomorrow. I've got a lot going on. But I promise I'll attempt to continue to watch way too many movies, and they might be Japanese because, as you well know, I love me some Japanese cinema. This is a French film, however, on Flic. It is the final film of Jean-Pierre Melville, starring the one and only Alain Delon.